Birmingham. Today is Tuesday, May 23rd, 2023. The time is 9:36. I call to order the regular meeting of the Birmingham City Council. Our invocation will be led this morning by Lee Wendell-Loader, Senior Pastor of the Gifted City Church, and Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Councilor Jonathan T. Moore. If you're willing and able, please stand and join us.
To the Council President, President Pro Tem, the Council, the Mayor, the staff of this city, and the citizens, I pen this prayer for the day. Let us pray. To the grand and eternal policymaker of this universe and great city, God, the hand that scooped the soil out of Jones Valley and shaped it into a red mountain, the God who spat out the lime and coughed up the core ore as a gift to an infant city that would forge its name in steel. The God who proclaimed Birmingham as a sacrificial lamb of racial rebellion, only to resurrect it as a beacon of human rights and understanding. God, whose whisper summoned these public servants to solve new problems of intra-racial hatred and violence, economic disparity, and extreme poverty. Temper their words with wisdom. Fill their hearts with compassion. Open their minds to new ideas. Strengthen their bodies with otherworldly stamina. Touch their souls with the blinding light of justice. Give these city leaders the wisdom to know the things they can control and the humility to accept the things they cannot. Have mercy on the hard-working citizens of this great city. Usher in a storm of peace, a shower of joy, a blizzard of reconciliation, and a hurricane of personal responsibility on the young and distraught and those living in a cold world oblivious of hope and devoid of economic opportunity. But within this storm, shape Birmingham's new identity and mission in this state and world, and plant seeds of entrepreneurial and economic prosperity. Keep the ham on your shoulder, bless her for years to come, and cover her with a hefty gift of unmerited grace. Now, all those under my voice, say amen.
Amen. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor Loader, Judge, former member of the City Council, we thank you so much for that very thoughtful prayer, and it reminds us of who is our all omnipotent God. Thank you so much. Thank you, Councilor Moore, for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. At this time, good morning, Mr. Clerk, if you'll lead us in the roll call.
Good morning, Madam President. Council Member Abbott. Council Member Clark.
Present.
Council Member Moore.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Council Member O'Quinn.
Good morning.
Good morning. Council Member Tate.
Good morning.
Good morning. Council Member Williams.
Good morning.
Good morning. Council Member Woods. Council Pro Tem Smitherman.
Good morning.
Good morning. Council President Alexander.
Good morning. Thank you very much, President. Councilors, the minutes are not ready from February 21st, 2023 through May 16th, 2023. This time we'll have communications from the mayor. Good morning, Mayor Woodfin.
Good morning, Madam President. Good morning to the entire council. And happy birthday, Councilwoman Valerie Abbott. Ms. Abbott, I cannot sing. And Ruben Studdard is not here yet either, so we'll see if somebody can give you a rendition of Happy Birthday later.
We can call Councilor Hoyt and ask him to come down.
You should have had him come by.
Madam President and Council, As you know, the city of Birmingham is extremely proud to have its first and only locally owned and operated professional soccer franchise. It is known as Legion FC. And this Wednesday, tomorrow, May 24th at 7 p.m. at Protective Stadium, they will take on Charlotte FC. I think it's extremely important that as a city, as a community, as a city that always jumps up and down about sports, that we support our own, that we support local, and that we show up tomorrow in droves. So what I want to do is just share with the public that it's not too late to purchase your tickets, and you can go to bhmlegion.com. Again, that's bhmlegion.com. And I want us to show up and, most importantly, hammer down. Last week, Madam President and Council, I shared with this body and the public a summer series called Magic Sips. I just want to reiterate it today. It's a summer-long citywide happy hour event series that will take place on Wednesdays throughout the month of June, July, and August. Led by the City of Birmingham's Department of Innovation and Economic Opportunity, SIPS has an intentional design to highlight and support local establishments, encouraging patronage throughout the summer months. And SIPS will formally kick off next Wednesday, May 31st, that is. Restaurants and bars may get more information and register at birminghamal.gov/SIPS. Just a note about bulk trash and uniform trash. The City of Birmingham will continue to keep residents informed about bulk trash pickup with daily updates online at birminghamal.gov/bulk trash. And as a reminder for those residents using the new carts, uniform trash bins, that is, you should place them in front of your homes. And any household garbage placed on the ground in alleys or on the ground in front of your residence will not be picked up. You can receive more updates by going to birminghamal.gov/pickup or by texting BHAM Ready to 888-777. As a note, Madam President and Council, let me pause to say thank you to each of you individually and collectively as a body. Before this council today, that has already been passed through Committee of the Whole, is an update, our municipal service ordinance related to solid waste collection and disposal. I want to thank the legal department, Ms. King and Julie Bernard. I want to thank Josh Yates and the entire team at Public Works, but I truly want to thank you for leaning in on this and helping us get to this point where before you're positioned to vote on this ordinance change today, which will allow the short version us to modernize how we get engaged in disposal, trash, etc. A note for the public that I think you'll appreciate. There are many things in this ordinance, but upgraded ordinance. But two of the things that are important to people is the ability to purchase a second bin, which would be a price of $120. Please remember your first bin was free. And that price range is average price for any other city within the Southeast. Second note that I find, Madam President and Council, of importance that I've gotten a couple pings on, which is this ordinance says you cannot leave your trash bin once it's been emptied in front of your home. That's in line and standard with all other cities across the Southeast as well. So within 24 hours after your trash has been collected from the city, it's important that you remove your empty trash bin from in front of your home. We believe that goes towards continuing to help keep our city clean as well. So with that, Madam President, if it's okay with you and the council, what I'll do is just pause on the mayor's updates, communication, and come back before the body.
Thank you, Mayor Whitman. We appreciate those comments, and we'll be poised to allow you to come back at that time presents itself. At this time, councilors, I would like to ask for unanimous consent that we will amend the agenda to allow for our council meeting presentations. We actually have two councilors that have presentations this morning, and Councilor Quinn, are your people here? All right, we'll start first with Councilor Darrell O'Quinn, District 6. He actually has two presentations. Councilor O'Quinn.
I'd like to invite the folks from Barge Design to join me at the podium. So one of the biggest projects that we've witnessed in the city of Birmingham over the past several years has been the reconstruction of the 2059 bridges, or the downtown bridges. And you know, a lot of folks in this room, if not most of the folks in this room, were heavily involved in that initiative. And one of the major components of that project that was important for the city of Birmingham and ALDOT to accomplish was to reconnect the north and south sides of the city that are divided by the highway. So, as we all know, that manifested itself in the form of City Walk, which I continue to say is an internationally significant project that the city of Birmingham and the state of Alabama should be very proud of. So it's my pleasure this morning to recognize Julie Motter and folks from Barge Design who have been recognized for their design. And so this morning I want to present a resolution, and I'll just read a few brief portions of it. Whereas, in full accord with its longstanding traditions, the Council of the City of Birmingham is justly proud to congratulate Barge Design Solutions on receiving an award for its master plan design of City Walk Beeham at the 2023 ACEC Alabama Engineering Excellence Awards. The City Walk Beeham project provides a high level of urban recreational design, inspiring a new level of community connection for residents of Birmingham, businesses, and visitors. Whereas with 16 office locations, including a local Birmingham office, Barge worked closely with the Alabama Department of Transportation to design a master plan for the expansive 31-acre, 10-block project. The team incorporated strategic, innovative spaces to reconnect neighborhoods from both sides of the 5920 bridges through engaging high-end activities. Barge's master plan was a result of 8 years of collective community-focused efforts, and whereas popular requests including walking paths, a dog park, a food truck area, sports fields, a world-class playground, water features, and a 60,000 square foot skate park, a beer garden, pickleball courts, open air classrooms, all of which are now part of the action-packed design. The community thought it was important to add meaningful spaces to the City Walk Beeham master plan, highlighting the city's history and growth. Barge brought that vision to life. Now therefore it be resolved that the City Council of Birmingham, with Mayor Randall L. Woodfin concurring, pause in its deliberations to congratulate the entire team of Barge Design Solutions on its designation as a recipient of the 2023 ACEC Alabama Engineering Excellence Awards. Best wishes are extended as this project moves forward, as this project moves to compete in the national ACEC EEA competition in Washington, D.C., presented and recommended by Councilor Darrell O'Quinn. So I would like to move for unanimous consent of the resolution.
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay.
Move the resolution.
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
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 All opposed, say nay.
All right. Would you guys like to make any comments?
I'm much shorter. Thank you so much. It was such an honor to be able to be a part of the reconnection of this community. I work for Barge Design Solutions, and I think I had a great team behind me to allow such a grand space to take part in your city, and we were thrilled to be a part of it. So thank you for this great honor. We appreciate it.
I would like to say thank you, Dr. O'Quinn, for bestowing this honor and recognition of the beautiful design there at City Walk. It's certainly something that we are very proud of here in the city of Birmingham, so thank you.
Yes, and okay, some in part related. The next presentation is regarding an initiative by the CDC, our Centers for Disease Control. It's called Active People, Healthy Nation. Active People, Healthy Nation is a national initiative led by CDC to help 27 million Americans become more physically active by 2027. Increased physical activity can improve health, quality of life, and reduce healthcare costs. Regular physical activity can help reduce the risk of at least 20 chronic diseases and conditions and provide effective treatment for many of these conditions. So, City Walk, I think, has a role to play in this type of initiative because it provides a safe, clean recreation environment where you can shelter from the rain or shelter from the sun. So glad to have that space. But today I wanted to present a resolution with our friends from Pepper Place, Lease Lost Cora, and representatives from Live Health Smart. So I'll just read some excerpts from the resolution. Whereas the City Council of Birmingham is committed to supporting a thriving, vibrant, and healthier community for residents of all ages and abilities, 1 in 5 children and 2 in 5 adults in the United States have obesity, and 1 in 2 adults live with a chronic disease, and about half of this group have 2 or more chronic diseases. And whereas physical activity is vital for healthy aging and can reduce the burden of chronic diseases and prevent early death, physically active people generally live longer and are at less risk for serious health problems like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, and some cancers. And for people with chronic diseases, physical activity can help manage these conditions and complications. Whereas walkable communities can improve traffic safety for people who walk, ride bicycles, and drive, the City Council of the City of Birmingham recognizes its ability to expand achievable, measurable, and sustainable efforts to increase physical activity across the community by supporting active people, healthy nation strategies. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Council of the City of Birmingham, with Mayor Randall L. Woodfin concurring, pauses in its deliberations to recognize that physical activity is one of the best things adults, children, and families in the City of Birmingham can do to improve their health. And in light of the foregoing considerations, the Council commits to supporting active people, healthy nation strategies by encouraging all citizens to development of an active, healthy lifestyle to enhance their health and welfare of the entire city. Presented and recommended by Councilor Darrell O'Quinn. So I'd like to move for unanimous consent of the resolution.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Move the resolution.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
All right. And Lee, would you like to come make some comments?
We're so proud. Thank you, Councilor O'Quinn, Mayor Woodfin, City Council. I'm so honored to be able to be here. We thank you so much for your leadership and support. I'm the Lease Lost Cora. I'm the director of the market at Pepper Place, 23-year-old, largest certified producer-only weekly farmers market in the state, right here in Birmingham. We thank you so much for issuing this proclamation. We've been committed to healthy eating, healthy lifestyle since we began, and we're so glad that we can all speak together as one voice. This initiative, as Darrell said, came from the CDC, partners with the American Heart Association, with Rails to Trails Conservancy, all national organizations that are looking at Birmingham, and then our partners here in town, UAB's Live Health Smart Alabama, represented today by Teresa Shufflebarger, who's amazing, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We applaud all your efforts to support people that live, work, eat, and play in Birmingham, helping make healthy and happier lives possible for all of us. So thank you very, very much. We can't wait to frame it.
Thank you again, Dr. O'Quinn, for bringing these presentations to us. We know that obesity and inactivity, how it can affect each of us and our citizens. So we're very excited for the work that's being done to make us healthier here in the city of Birmingham. Next, Councilor Pro Tem, yes.
Everybody come up. I don't know why they're acting so shy. So, good morning, Council. I would like to introduce you to somebody I've known literally my entire life, Mr. Love. It's so important that we bring scientists like Mr. Love up front because children need to see scientists that look like them. He is what Black excellence looks like in the scientific field. We have to continue to learn about, celebrate, and increase the voices and accomplishments of people from diverse backgrounds. So all we can say is thank you, and we salute you today. Now, Mr. Love, I'm not going to read the whole resolution, but just but I'm going to move for unanimous consent.
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Move the item.
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Thank you. Mr. Love, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you very much to Councilman Smitherman and to the City Council. It has indeed been my honor and pleasure to work in the field of pharmaceutical formulation development for 47 years, starting at Southern Research Institute and working through the time when we were converting from a steel-based economy to a more of a healthcare-based economy. And now as I prepare for a retirement from the Evonik Corporation, and I want to thank all of those from the corporation who've come out to support me and be with me today. And if I may, I'll just call all of the names. So our site manager, Hans. I won't try to pronounce your last name, Hans. My sister Thalia, my wife Deborah, Tracy Chivius, who's been instrumental in getting this recognition for me, the site HR director, Marsha, and Kelly Myers. So thank you all, and again, this is a very humbling experience. I thank you, and look forward to more years of service to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited for this recognition for you, Mr. Love. We know what Evonik Birmingham Laboratories means to District 7, so we're very excited for that biomedical footprint and for the work that you and your colleagues do there at Evonik. It's just always exciting when, as Councilor Pro Tem said, when our youth get to see people like them that are in these type of roles. And so I'm excited for the work that you did. And I want to just say shout out to Tracy. Tracy and I worked together. I onboarded her as a young medical technologist at BioLife So glad to see you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Love, Mr. Love. At this time, counselors, I will conclude our presentations, and if you would allow, I'd like to turn the meeting back over to Mayor Woodfin at this time to continue his comments and presentations.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Council. It won't be long, but I think this is extremely important at this time. I would like for our American Idol Ruben Studdard to come forward along with his wife, Kristen, and their son, Olivia, and his mother, Miss Studdard. My brother. Madam President and Council, as well as to the public, it is hard to believe that it has been 20 years since Birmingham's own Ruben Studdard won American Idol. Ruben not only impressed the Idol judges and won the hearts of millions around the world with his soulful voice, but he never forgot his home and has shown Birmingham love no matter where he has gone. And a truth, brother, we are so proud of you, and we're honored to celebrate you today with a special proclamation that now, Madam President and Council, that I'll read in part. And it states, whereas Ruben Studdard beat out thousands of people to secure a televised audition for American Idol in 2003, auditioning by singing Stevie Wonder's Ribbon in the Sky. And whereas once Mr. Studdard appeared on the show, he impressed viewers with his voice, stage presence, eventually earning the nickname the Velvet Teddy Bear. And whereas during the May 21st, 2003 finale, more than 40 million people watched the show, and more than 24 million votes were cast, and Mr. Studdard emerged the winner. Y'all, I cannot talk today. Emerged the winner, beating contestant Clay Aiken. Mr. Studdard became the second person to win the American Idol title. And whereas since his win, Mr. Studdard has gone on to receive a nomination for a Grammy Award in 2003 for Best Male R&B Vocal Performance for his recording of Superstar, a song made popular by Mr. Vandross. And in 2004, Mr. Studdard won the NAACP Outstanding New Artist Award, which would be the first of various awards he won for his singing. And whereas in this year, since the American Idol, Mr. Studdard has appeared in acting roles on television and theater, has released 7 studio albums, including his platinum-selling debut called Soulful. In September 2023, Mr. Studdard will continue his tour of Mr. Aiken. And also in September, Mr. Studdard will release his 8th album. My brother keep dropping hits. His first single off that album will be released on this Friday, May 26th, and the single is called The Way I Remember It. Now, therefore, I, Randall L. Woodfin, Mayor of the City of Birmingham, along with the Birmingham City Council, do hereby declare May 21st, 2023, as Ruben Studdard Day. Madam President and Council, in honor of this 20th anniversary of what Mr. Ruben Studdard won American Idol, Mr. Studdard continues to make the Magic City proud. And I encourage all residents to rise to the occasion, which you've just done, to continue to salute this brother as we celebrate his achievements. At this time, Madam President and Council, I would like Mr. Studdard to come up and introduce his family as well as say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Woodfin. I'm going to do as I was told. So to my left, this is my beautiful wife, Kristen, and my son, Olivier. And to my right, this is my mother, Miss Emily Studdard. I am so thankful to you, Mayor Woodfin, and to this council, and to the city of Birmingham for always supporting everything that I do. I am the product of wonderful arts education here in the city of Birmingham. Mr. Joseph Smith was the first person that taught me how to read music at Smith Middle School. Mr. Alan Gillespie was my choir director at Huffman High School, and after that I went to Alabama A&M University and majored in music. But Birmingham has a rich musical history, and I do all that I can to tell people that I'm not the first person from Birmingham, Alabama to do well in entertainment. I just talk about Birmingham the most, and that is something that I wanted as a child. I wanted for the people that were from here to be proud that they were from here. And I said that if I ever made it, I would always tell people that I was from Birmingham, Alabama, and that I loved my city, and I continue to do that. So thank you all for continuing to support my endeavors. I would not have been able to do the Reuben Studdard Marathon for my foundation, my Reuben Studdard music camps at Birmingham Southern College without the support of the city of Birmingham. So thank you guys so very much for all that you've done for me, and I love you guys. Thank you. God bless you.
Well, thank you so much. We are so honored, and we are grateful to Mayor Whitford for bestowing this honor upon you today. I'm thinking back 20 years ago, 205, you put us on the map. So thank you so much. I remember going to Six Flags with my child, and we had our 205 t-shirts. I'm surprised that Councilor Woods, he always has throwback jerseys and throwback stuff, and I'm just surprised you didn't come in with a 205 t-shirt today. But Mr. Studdard, we just really want to thank you. I saw your mother out in the audience, and I thought she's a retired educator. And so I thought to myself, oh, God, what have we done? She's coming here to speak to us today. But you're here to support your son. So thank you so much, and love your beautiful family. But again, I'm going to stand in the way because I know other councilors want to thank you. But thank you for what you do for the city of Birmingham and being a reminder of us today through your comments, the rich musical history and heritage that we have, the wonderful educators that we have that can bring these voices to life and put you on this pathway. So I'm just excited for what you've done for the city of Birmingham and excited for what you've done just for residents here in general. So thank you. Councilors, I know, start with Councilor Clark down there. She's our cultural entertainment person, so I know she wants to say
Sure. Well, congratulations on the 20th anniversary of being our idol.
Thank you.
Because we love you. Miss Hattie is one of my constituents, and she's a servant leader extraordinaire who's so proud of you, as are we. And I have to confess, you know, the mayor had just wished one of our colleagues a happy birthday, and he couldn't sing. So he said, I ain't no Reuben Studdard. So when you walked in, I just knew it was like some kind of gimmick for you to say happy birthday. So anyway, I'm just confessing that. It's Valerie Abbott, if you want to put it in tune.
Don't put that pressure on him.
Anyway, we love you. Thank you so much.
Look, I'm not going to ask you to sing. I just want to say thank you for all that you've done for our city. I remember at the time that American Idol was going on, I was actually living in Mobile, and it was really cool to be able to see somebody from Birmingham representing our city. Right. And I remember going back to school the next day and like having my 205, shirt on, like I was supposed to be in uniform. But I was like, I need y'all to know I'm from Birmingham. And so, I just really appreciate you. And then I remember also leaving Mobile and coming and going to Huffman the first semester of my 10th grade year. And you pulling up as we were getting ready for summer camp for football practice. And you had pulled up and I was like, oh my God, that's him right there.
I got to recognize Coach Coleman.
Yes, got to show love to Coach Coleman.
If I didn't, I went to college on a football scholarship, so
I'm already knowing
for him, I would not have been there.
Yeah. So, and then is fast forward even now, being able to be the city councilor where Audio State 55 resides right here in District 4, where you were able to record your album, and so just full circle moments. And we are just excited for you and proud of you, and thank you for putting Birmingham on the map like you
Thank
did.
you so much.
Yes, sir.
Councilor Abbott.
I guess we're just going down
Yes.
the line.
Happy birthday, Councilor Abbott.
Thank you. I just want to say that I was on the council for like a little over a year when you won American Idol, and I am one of your biggest fans. I just love your voice. It's just perfect. If the mayor had that voice, you know, I mean, he could sing happy birthday to me anytime he wanted to. But I do want to say that you are a fantastic representative for the city of Birmingham. You know, idol. Idol is a word that, you know, I don't use all that much, but you are just the greatest representative. I mean, you have done so many things, including becoming a health advocate, which I think is a big thing for Birmingham. We need all the leaders and all of the examples that we can get. So not only can you sing, you can run and walk. So these are good things. But it's good to have a famous person who is setting an example, because a lot of famous people don't. In fact, they set horrible examples that you don't want anybody to follow. So thank you. Thank you for being the one and being the one from Birmingham
Yes, ma'am.
to make us proud. So thank you.
so much.
Thank you. Dr. O'Quinn, anything? Any other councilors? Council Pro Tem?
Thank you, Madam President. I think the thing I love about you the most is your humility. A lot of people, when they get in the spotlight, whether it's politics, music, they kind of think they're above everyone else. And so I want to say thank you. And you did really influence the kids of Birmingham. I actually remember y'all being in elementary school. We probably didn't even know hardly anything, but we were like, Ruben Sutter, come on, we're going to watch American Idol, da, da. I mean, it was like the talk of the lunch table. And so I remember winning, and I was just so proud because you were from Birmingham. Like, you made it in Birmingham, and then you came back, right? Because a lot of times we want to leave and not come back. Or we want to say, oh, we're from this place or that place, because we have other artists that are from Birmingham that don't claim Birmingham. And so I really want to say thank you for all that you do. It really means a lot, especially somebody that's grown up watching you be successful in life.
Thank you.
Thank you. We could just go down like you like.
All right, I guess it's my turn since we're all going down the line. You know, one thing that that's going to make Birmingham successful and keep Birmingham on the map is doing exactly what you have done and echoing all of my colleagues' sentiments, being that positive role model, but also being a cheerleader for the city. You know, we all have different strengths. Obviously, some people are more on the stage than others, but whether you're a business leader, whether you're a leader at your shift, you know, in the police or fire department, or even at your shift, you know, one of our local businesses, I think it's so important that they display what you have displayed publicly to the U.S. And so thank you, I think on behalf of the city and those of us that were young enough to grow up watching you as a role model. Thank you very much, and I hope that I hope you've inspired many more people to follow in your footsteps and being a leader and a cheerleader for this city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor Tate.
I guess I'm next. Thank you, Mr. Sturdy, and to your beautiful family. I still have my 205 shirt.
Okay.
I remember working at the Jefferson County Health Department, and we, you know, when those shirts went on sale, over on the south side by the Fat Sam sub, I remember standing in that line getting my 205 shirt. But thank you. I mean, my colleagues have said it all. You are, you know, just an example of what this city needs, making sure that you continue to elevate and talk about Birmingham, Alabama, because as Pro Tem said, a lot of people have made it and do not talk about that they're from Birmingham. But, you know, thank you for doing what you do, and keep singing.
Thank you.
Always good to have one of the East Side's finest in the building. I hate I didn't know you were coming. I would have brought my mixtape to hand off to you, but now we're just proud of proud of what you've been able to accomplish, and just being that role model is like a handful of like moments that just stick in your brain as growing up. And OJ and the Bronco But when you won, like American Idol, when you won American Idol, it's one of the things that just sticks, and it doesn't feel like it was 20 years ago. Honestly, it really doesn't. But just want to congratulate you for the longevity and just encourage you to keep pushing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Again, we are so excited to have you here and to recognize you for this 20th anniversary. Thank you so much.
God bless you guys. Thank you, sir.
At this time, councilors, while we are still in the presentation mode, we do want to we're not putting Mr. Studdard on the spot. We're going to sing our own song. So we would like to really say happy birthday to Councilor Abbott. And we just got a few things for you this morning. So come on. And so we just want to say happy birthday and celebrate your birthday today. Thank you so much. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Abbott. Happy birthday to you.
Well, I want to thank all of you. Being the oldest member of the council, I can finally say it. You know, Councilor Hoyt used to say it all the time. I was not the senior member of the council, I was the oldest one. Well, I am the oldest one, and I'm proud of it. I'm still here.
That's right. That's right.
But this is very nice, and I really appreciate these clips. You can reuse them for a lot of things.
Like those bags of unhealthy chips I eat. So thank you so much. All right, thank you, councilors. At this time, we will return back to our agenda. And at this time, Mr. Clerk, if you could read to us the items that are considered for consent.
Yes, ma'am. Consent agenda starts on page 2 with item 1. And on page 8, we skip over to page 8. We have items 2 and 3 on consent. Page 9, we have items 6 and 7 on consent. Please note that on item 7, we're going to change the GL code to 001-010-04280-04281, period 527-014. And that's still District 8. Pick back up with the consent agenda with items 8, 10, and 11. On item 8, we're going to use some language change for the resolution, the synopsis for the resolution. The resolution itself has this language in it. But after the start, a resolution, please insert the words that hereby directs that notice be given of and, that hereby directs that notice be given of and then we pick back up with the election for member number 3. And then at the end, after special election, we're going to add the sentence, section 4 thereof is specifically amended, consistent with Act 2006-339, period. And then we start again on the consent agenda on page 11 with items, please note that item 9 is withdrawn. I had an email earlier yesterday for item 9 to be withdrawn. Page 11, we have items 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 on consent. Page 12, we have items 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23 on consent. Page 13, we have items 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29 on consent. Page 14, we have items 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35 on consent. Page 15, we have items 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, and 41 on consent. Page 16, we have items 42, 43, 44, and 45 on consent. Page 17, we have items 46, 47, and 48 on consent. On page 18, items 49, 50, 51, and 52 are on consent. And then on page 19, we have items 53, 54, 55, and 56 on consent. And that concludes the consent agenda.
Thank you very much. At this time, councilors, are there any items that you'd like to have added or removed from consent? Yes, Councilor Clark?
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to remove item 7 from consent.
Okay, the request is remove item 7 from consent on page 9. Any other items, Counselor? Counselor Abbott?
Yes, I would like to remove item 3 and 4. 4 I don't have to, it's, okay. 43, I have a question about 43, which is way down here on page 16. And the only question, I don't want to take it off consent, I just want to ask if this is for all of the city-owned buildings or leased buildings that have elevators in them. This is a blanket.
Chief or Mr. Moore?
And will it cover also parking decks where the elevators are broken, or is it only city?
Well, birthday lady, I'm sorry that I don't have an immediate answer. I can get one. So your call, whether you want to keep it on, we still answer it, or take it off and force the
Oh,
answer.
well, it can stay on consent just if I get the answer.
We'll get
The
you an
answer, the answer isn't going to change anything, I just want to know.
We'll get you an answer on this item, Madam, Ms. Abbott, before this meeting is over.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And the other item is item 52. These are the AEDs, and I wanted to know who is trained to use them, because having them doesn't help if we don't know how to use them.
I used to be.
Madam President, to Ms. Abbott's question.
Yes, ma'am.
Birmingham Fire and Rescue does the training, and then for each floor within City Hall, there's a designee as well. And they're trained from our Birmingham Fire and Rescue.
Okay, so if someone's walking down the hall in City Hall and they suddenly fall over on the floor, there's only one person per floor that knows how to use the AED if the person is like stopped breathing and their heart is stopped?
In the instance of the example you gave, I think what we would do is actually call 911.
Well, then why do we need AEDs?
The floor captain is trained, Ms. Abbott. The floor captain is trained on each floor for such an incident or an emergency situation. The first line is for us to actually call 911.
Okay, well, I have a friend who actually was saved by one of those AEDs being hanging on the wall, but the lady who used it on him knew how to, and no one else did. And so, you know, it concerns me that we buy them and we hang them on the wall, but most of us don't have a clue what to do with them. And I can do CPR, and I've done it before, but that's not as good as an AED. It will actually keep you alive. Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna correct myself by saying one thing, Madam President, to Ms. Abbott's question. I believe multiple people are trained. Is every person trained? No, but I believe I was incorrect. It's multiple people are trained per floor.
So can people volunteer to be trained?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you very much. Any other items, councilors, that you would like to have added or removed? You good? And we've, Councilor Williams has made note that he is trained on 3rd floor, so in addition to that, Captain will be able to.
We have any of these meetings that are unfriendly and someone falls out, I'm happy to be there, unless I instigated the heart attack.
Thank you, Mayor Woodfin.
Yes, ma'am, Madam President. Thank you for recognizing me before you call for your vote related to the Ms. Abbott's elevator question.
Yes.
It does service, this provides service for all elevators with the exception of the parking decks, which are operated by the Birmingham Parking Authority.
Okay, thank you.
That cleared that up. Thank you. Councilor Moore.
And I just wanted to say one thing. I know with those AED machines, they do have easy to follow instructions to where anybody who is in an emergency situation, they could read it and, you know, quickly identify what they need to do to use them. Just Just wanted to kind of throw that out there.
Thank you. It's odd that we had this question, or we're having this discussion. When I was out in the hallway yesterday, I noticed one, and I really took a few minutes to read it, and I thought, I hope somebody knows how to use this in case I need it. I was winded coming up the stairs, and so I sort of thought, would anybody know that I'm out here? But thank you. But those instructions are on there because I actually read them. So thank you very much. At this time,
I read the one at the fitness center, and I still didn't feel qualified to use it.
I know I'm digressing, but I swear I bought a fax machine the other day. Have I aged myself? A fax machine. I still don't know how to plug it in and get it done. So that's how much I'm going to be able to help you with to read those instructions. All right, counselors, come back. And any other items that we need to add or remove? All right, thank you. All items designated as consent are routine and non-controversial and will be approved by one motion. No separate discussion of these items will be permitted unless a council member, the mayor, or citizen interested in a public hearing so requests. If so, such items will revert to its normal place on the agenda, order of business. All matters of permanent operation, they're indicated with the P, will be read. All other matters will be announced by reading the item number only. All public hearings will be announced. Councilors, if I could entertain a motion and a second for the consent agenda.
I move approval.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Thank you. The consent agenda is approved. If you were here for any item that was listed under consent, it has been approved. And now we return to our other items on the agenda. Thank you. Mr. Clerk, first item.
Should be item 3. Item 3, an ordinance to further amend the grants fund budget for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2023 by appropriating $298,686 to the mayor's office to create a food sovereign Birmingham per grant award received. Motion, please.
Move the item.
Second.
All right, thank you. Councilor Abbott, you asked me to take this off consent.
I did. I just wanted someone to explain what it is, because people who read our agendas wonder what a food sovereign Birmingham is. So I just thought it would be good to have someone explain.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor Whitman.
Good morning.
Good
My
morning.
name is Amelia Muller, and I serve as Civic Design Principal in the Mayor's Office. The item before you is a budget ordinance to essentially create the budget line item for a grant that we have received from the federal government. This is a grant through the U.S. Department of Agriculture in their Urban Agriculture and Innovative Production Program, or UAIP. This is actually a grant that the Birmingham area has received previously. Jones Valley Teaching Farm is currently implementing a program to create essentially community food fellows who are learning how to establish community gardens and urban farms. The proposal that we submitted successfully to USDA will include a number of activities and items. Chief among them is us staffing up more resolutely in this space, so we'll use this grant to hire a food system manager for the duration of the grant to work to expand our food strategy beyond kind of current market opportunities in the grocery store and traditional retail space. It will also support an engagement with the market at Pepper Place, whom you heard from earlier this morning, with the Project for Public Spaces and their Market Cities program. So essentially supporting some research that we'll conduct to expand farmers market and other market opportunities for agricultural producers in the Birmingham area. We will also conduct a series of studies around market feasibility and agricultural feasibility within the Birmingham city limits. So think somebody who's interested in starting an urban farm, helping them understand what land within our city is prime for that type of agricultural development, as well as supporting some market study work to understand how you take food from the ground and put it on the shelf so that people are able to take advantage of it. And then lastly, the work will include a content strategy and development project to essentially take all these great resources that are out here in the ecosystem and ensure that those are more readily available to our residents. We actually have a lot happening in the food ecosystem in Birmingham, and we want to make that more transparent and accessible to our residents so that they understand the range of options that are out there in their communities. So the item before you is simply to appropriate the grant budget so that we can get to work.
Thank you. Councilor Abbott?
Just one question. Will this grant help neighborhood associations and other neighborhood groups that want to start community gardens to figure out how to do it?
So one of the ways that this grant might support that is helping to make that process more transparent to those neighborhood associations. So working with our internal departments to make the regulations, clear to people through some of that content development that I talked about. It will not provide direct grant funds to those neighborhood associations to start those enterprises, but it would support essentially the technical assistance to help them understand that process and point them to resources.
Soil testing and all that kind of stuff.
So it wouldn't fund the direct soil testing, but it would provide resources that walk them through the necessity to do that work.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Council Pro Tem?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. I'm very excited about this grant. With the grocery store prices right now, it's almost cheaper to grow your own vegetables and fruits instead of getting out of the store. And a lot of times, organic food is what heals the body, right? That's how they did it centuries ago, is doing that. And I really want to make sure with this grant that we help our black and brown neighborhoods. A lot of times, for example, there's one particular grocery store, I will not say their name. They were at Pepper Place, right? And so I was like, oh, so are you in this neighborhood? They were like, no, I've never heard of this neighborhood, but I've been in every other neighborhood in the city of Birmingham. And so I'm also asking for help, just because my district has a farmer's market. We can give you any data, what has been successful or failure in helping the Eastlake Farmers Market. So I just want to make sure that we not only help to expand it, but to help the existing farmers markets there. But I'm very excited to see it. A lot of elderly people like to touch their foods. So thank you for all that you do, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Councilor Williams?
So just to clarify, this is to bring awareness to what's available, but it's not to expand. Did I understand that correctly or incorrectly?
Essentially, yes. What I would say is the goal of some of the assessments that we'll perform and the studies that are a part of the scope will create some of that groundwork for expansion opportunities of existing retailers and also other agricultural producers and purveyors. So there are no direct incentives that are a part of this grant, but we are essentially trying to build the economic basis for a range of food system activities to take place.
Okay, and then when does this grant become effective?
As soon as your action today.
Okay. Well, Mr. Mayor, my request for you is that if there's a way that we could work with Village Market closing and the presence of the Eastlake Farmers Market, I think that this grant could play a really timely role in expanding people's knowledge that it exists. Obviously, we fund it so that people that have SNAP or any type of EBT program can get double what they could in a grocery store at that farmer's market. And it's something that I think is really essential in that eastern community because it's in walking proximity or biking proximity to a lot of people that otherwise would not have that type of mobility to get to healthy fruits and vegetables. So I'd love, Mayor, to work with your team on finding a way to make sure that we can, that this grant could also go towards broadening the awareness and I don't know what other the parameters of the grant are, but kind of use this as a timely tool with Village Market closing and that Eastlake Farmers Market being there on the eastern side of Birmingham.
Madam President.
Yes, Mayor Whitman.
To Councilor Williams' thoughts, what we will do
The administration, mayor's office will get with the grants team and sustainability team and dive deeper on the parameters of the grant and what we can and can't do, and we'll be sure to follow up.
Thank you. Council Pro Tem.
Well, that's basically what I was saying, to help out the existing farmers markets, because we can tell you what has worked and what hasn't worked. And so with a lot of times these farmer markets, it's about awareness. It's very important, because if the farmers don't get any revenue from there, they're going to move. And so the western side in particular, so 5, 6 through 9, is definitely a food desert in particular. And there's such a great awareness, and the Aspen Institute, which we're trying to fund, could also help us, because they can probably tell us, and the health department, what parts of town have an increase in presence of diabetes in our residents, high blood pressure. So I guess I can say, Mayor Woodfin, will you continue to support the existing farmers market in District 6 and see if we can expand it?
Mayor Woodfin.
Madam President, down to Madam Pro Tem's question, we will continue to support the farmers market.
Yeah,
in
thank
District
you.
6.
And the next one is June 9th.
Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments? We'll go ahead and entertain the vote, but don't leave.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no.
All right, thank you. Item number 3 passes. I do want to thank the grants department that goes out and secures these type of grants for us, and just the comments today. I know that we've probably given you other opportunities and other grants that you may be able to apply some of what we're asking here today. So we just be mindful of some of those things, and Mayor Woodfin, thank you very much. My question or my comment sort of piggybacks on what Councilor Abbott was speaking of. I was hoping that this initiative would also be something that the neighborhoods themselves could use. We have a community garden that is sort of idle in the Hillman neighborhood, and there was a lot of work done on it, and it already has the covering and everything, but we just don't have the, maybe one of these community fellows from Jones Valley could assist the neighborhood and just going out, and maybe that could be part of that assessment of how that could be useful. Again, how we think about, it used to be a time where we grew our own vegetables and we supported our meals through that type of effort. So just a great idea. We'd like to see more of this. Thank you so much.
Understood. Thank you.
Yes, and Council Pro Tem has one follow-up question.
I want to see if I'm correct. Isn't there something in the budget already where we use ARPA funding to put towards healthy food initiatives? Would this kind of couple with it?
It would. So we did, the council appropriated $1 million to healthy food initiatives. Part of that went toward a recent allocation to Jones Valley Teaching Farm to continue to expand their work. There is a remaining $500,000 that we are currently developing, essentially a grant-making program for. So in terms of funding sources, we will continue to develop that opportunity. And to President Alexander's point, continue to pursue opportunities for deeper funding. This is, in essence, a strategy grant that helps us develop a more robust strategy in some of these other areas and recognize the urgent need across our neighborhoods to do this work.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Next item.
Okay. Excuse me. Should be item 4. An ordinance to repeal Title 4 Municipal Services, Chapter 3, Solid Waste Collection and Disposal of the General Code of the City of Birmingham, and replace it with a new Title 4 Municipal Services, Chapter 3, Solid Waste Collection and Disposal, to provide for changes in the city's solid waste collection services, provide and clarify requirements for disposal of waste from construction and commercial landscaping and tree services. Please add to the synopsis here, and evictions, update and clarify requirements for use of special garbage and rubbish containers at multifamily and commercial properties, provide for administration of the chapter, provide for punishment for violations, and restructure the chapter for clarity. And this is an item of permanent operation, so I need UC to pass it today.
I move for UC.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. I thought I heard something different. No?
Move the item.
Second.
That was Councilor Quinn and Councilor Pro Tem Smitherman?
Yes.
All right, the item is before you.
All right, thank you very much. This is an ordinance again. I think it's something that the council has really sought, and as we've gone through changes, how we're trying to upgrade our waste collection and disposal, it was time to change these codes. So Mayor Woodfin, this has been presented already to the Committee of the Whole, and we did recommend it, but I think it's very valuable that our residents understand what's going on here. So Mayor Woodfin, I'll turn it over to you.
Absolutely, Madam President, and to you and the council again, thank you for allowing us to get to this point. I think what I'll do at this time is have Josh Yates of the Birmingham Department of Public Works and Julie Bernard of the Office of City Attorney come up and provide some remarks and give a little bit more information what's embedded in this updated ordinance, as well as provide any answer any questions you may have.
Good evening, Madam President, entire council. Thank you for having me today. In general, we've been working to rectify any issues that we've had across the board as we roll out our CART program, as we go from a system of picking up what's out there to a unified system. This ordinance that's before you today helps us handle some of those issues that we could not address without your approval, which is the addition of a secondary CART for residential household pickup, and the addition for businesses throughout the CART program area to purchase a CART for pickup as well. That's one of the main components of what we have before you today. Additionally, we increase the definitions as requested in Committee of the Whole to update for the bulk and the garbage, as well as a few other items I'm sure Ms. Julie has been working on for a while in terms of we did bring into account the piece that talked about the landlord evictions and other small items of that nature. Again, it was this main portion of this was to add the piece to be able to purchase a secondary cart for households who say that one cart is not enough, or for businesses that are along our residential cart routes so that they could continue service. That is the main goal of what we have in front of you today, and if there's any questions, we'd be glad to address them.
Thank you, Director Yates. Councilors, we'll open it up for questions at this time. Councilor Quinn.
Yeah, so I had a conversation with Julie this morning because there were a couple of changes overnight. Thank you again for putting in mention of the evictions issue. It's a big deal. I did have one question that I didn't think of earlier, so let's see if I can get to it. There's mention in the draft and under the definitions for what a approved garbage and rubbish container, and it specifically says when full does not exceed 50 pounds in weight. And with a 96-gallon receptacle, I think we're likely to exceed that weight limit. So I just wanted to point that out.
There is a phrase in that sentence that follows that. It's like the bag or the can that does not exceed 50 pounds in weight and is handled as further provided in this ordinance, or a uniform garbage cart. So that's separated out from the 50-pound requirement.
Okay.
If that makes sense, if anybody has an idea that could be written clearer, if the grammar doesn't work.
Okay, I mean, as long as, it doesn't represent an issue.
I think that's it, because we are recognizing that there is some continuation going until around October, November timeframe, when we expect all the carts to be distributed and the program be fully operational. So we need to keep, trying to keep the definitions in there for what may be continuing in some areas. But we added that, or a uniform garbage cart, because we know it doesn't fit the 50-pound requirement.
Okay.
And that can later be updated once we make full transition.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. O'Quinn. Any other questions, Council Pro Tem?
I really want to thank Julie Bernard and Director Yates. I think the PIC committee and myself have been working with them for almost 2 years, literally. I remember we were in the middle of COVID and we were having a Zoom call trying to figure this out. And Attorney Bernard is so, she's so particular, and she's very precise. She wants to make sure this is exactly what it's going to do. It's going to be an effective ordinance. And Council Williams was on the committee when I was on there, and so I'm really excited to see this because as Council O'Quinn was talking about the evictions, I know I've been out in my district, and I thought that was illegal dumping, and then come to find out it was an eviction, and the eviction would be, you know, half of the block, and you're just like, how do you just leave this in a neighborhood? So I think it's really important that we put more teeth in that and hold these construction companies more accountable, because they leave all of these wood and debris out, and then the city is left to pick it up, and we could be picking up the residential trash. And I'm just really excited because I think our neighborhoods will look better. And I think once we start the enforcement, we'll see a lot better looking neighborhoods. So thank you again.
Thank you, Council Pro Tem. Council Williams?
Thank you, Madam President. I apologize to my colleagues. I was not able to be at that committee of the whole, so I know that we've had this discussion and I was absent. But
Okay.
I did have a concern, and I don't, Ms. Bernard, I'm sure that you're going to probably have an opinion on it, but it's on page 5, section 4-3-12, which covers the frequency of collections, and it's page 5 of what the clerk sent. So I know we have a few different drafts, so I don't know if it's the same, whatever, but it is section 4-3-12. And so I guess my question is, why are we mandating frequency of collection as the council? Because here's why. The administration has the authority over frequency of collection. If it was my decision, which it's not, we would have recycling pickup every week like we used to forever instead of twice a month. So why would we be mandating frequency of collection as a council?
This is mandating a minimum amount of pickup, and well, we say shall once per week, but it's at least a minimum mandate. I mean, you're making this program, our garbage collection program has always been mandatory. Everybody participates in, as a citizen. The council is saying this is what the city's committing to doing. There are some provisions later in the ordinance for the director to make some adjustments as may be necessary as long as it complies with. It's not uncommon for this to be in other similar ordinances in other jurisdictions to state how often they collect. It puts everybody on notice, makes it clear.
Okay, so, and I, as a non-attorney, I did read the provisions later in this ordinance that does give DPW's director or the mayor the authority to, but it seems like it was more of emergent situations or changing conditions, like the recycling plant burning down, for example, and not something that was daily operation. So I guess, would it be amenable to say, to change the term, to add the term for recycling is the same as residential trash? So, it says that garbage shall be made collected once per week. Let me find the exact sentence. To add, it would be amenable to add the word at minimum, I guess is my question for recycling.
At minimum,
Twice per month.
Minimum twice per month. I think that would be all right. It's written because the recyclable market, there's a number of issues that kind of have to be worked through and looked at. And on the point about the director, Public Works already has things like list of items we do not pick up. And so that provision also it does apply to some daily operational provisions where they may have a list of things that we will not pick up and things that could change on basis. There's kind of a generalized list in a couple of sections that allows them to have the specifics that citizens can refer to.
Thank you. So you're in agreement then with doing that wordsmithing, the minimum?
Madam President,
Who's talking?
Mr. Clerk.
I mean,
Clerk.
Yes,
sorry,
ma'am.
Clerk. Yes, go ahead.
Just trying to get this a location where we're making the changes. All right. So that we can get the updated. Can you tell me which line? Councilor Williams, can you tell me which line it is?
Sure. If they're amenable to it, it would be section 4312, page 5 of the ordinance that you guys sent out. It would be section 4312, and then recycling materials will be picked up at minimum twice per month.
Councilor Woods.
My question was, one, does the ability to purchase a second cart start immediately, or what is the timetable?
So as soon as the ordinance is enacted, we are planning on having that readily available after Memorial Day, so on that Tuesday thereafter. Yes, sir.
Okay, and then I guess on the dealing with the businesses or non-residential, is this option for them to participate? Is this trash that we already pick up currently, or would this be people having the option to opt in for addresses that we don't currently service?
So businesses, nonprofits, they all have the option right now of private service. But what we also do is, historically, we have picked up some businesses on our residential cart routes that we're on today. When we purchased the carts, they were for single-family residential. So this gives the businesses an opportunity to purchase a cart to continue service. When we're sending an automated truck through there and they don't have the cart and just put bags out, then we have to send a secondary truck through there. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. So this gives them an option to opt into that program where we'll pick up with the cart.
Okay, but is this for the people who are already kind of on our route?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This isn't for everybody. This is just the businesses that are located alongside the cart routes that we're currently running in residential areas.
And then lastly, on the quadplexes, I think we had, I guess, at least one issue I know of where we switched over, didn't give those residents carts, and just didn't pick up the trash and stuff. How do we have a way of expediting that process for those quadplexes? Because I think they're at least a few weeks without trash pickup.
So yes, sir, we are working with businesses, duplexes, quadplexes throughout the city. We're working with them. We're allowing grace this time. If there's an issue with one that has not had the service that they historically had, please let us know on that specific instance and we'll get it addressed. But we have been working with everybody because we're not just going to leave trash across the city. So we have been working with people as we adjust to the CART program to make sure that we continue.
And then lastly, what is I guess y'all gonna roll out the process for getting your trash can? If you want a second one, you have.
Thank you. So I think that answer was there will be a rollout process that will be communicated once we start this process. And you said pretty immediately, or the trigger will be
once the ordinance is adopted.
Once the ordinance goes into effect, Tuesday?
Yes, listen, we deem of all the changes in here, we deem this the number one priority. So I've already asked the legal department to engage the clerk's office and my office so we can accelerate codifying this and it's immediately going into law. Communications team is already working with Ms. Bernard and Public Works on a communication plan to be in a position to share with the council and the public on the process to purchase a second bin. Literally, as soon as that's available, we'll go live.
All right. Thank you. And I do just want to be sure, the clerk, you have clarity on what
The change
you're
we mentioned.
proposing change.
Is
Yes.
there any objection to the change?
Any objections to putting that in? Let's restate it. It was 4312, page 5 of the draft that's in front of us. It was picked up the minimum of twice per month for recyclables. You agree with that, Attorney Bernard? Yeah, it was just adding that word a minimum of, to clarify that when those pickups would take place.
I would say I'll get the draft and get the updated version to the clerk's office.
All right. We have clarity? Yes, Councilor Tate, you good? Go ahead, Councilor Tate.
I just want to reiterate on this second rollout to, like we discussed this in committee of whole, that the instructions with the cans will be in English and Spanish, correct?
Yes, ma'am. For the final rollout, we are looking to include both English and Spanish.
Thank you, Dewan.
Thank you, Councilor Pro Tem.
I just remember this at committee of the whole. I know I asked, and several councilors asked about the code enforcement piece of it. And I know you talked about your workers going out and putting a door knocker, informing people of why their trash wasn't being picked up. I really like that concept. So people can be educated before we give them the citation, because I really, y'all want to make sure that we don't want to do all this good work and then we don't enforce it. And then people don't take it seriously and they think, oh, they're just having another ordinance, they're not going to enforce it. So I just really make sure that we have this as a two-part component. And like I told you, Mr. Yates, whatever we can do to help you and spreading the education, please use us. But I do want the public to know we're not going to just start giving you citations just because you put out your trash wrong. This is a learning curve. But y'all do have to stop putting out your trash for no reason. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilors, are we ready for a vote? Ms. Zabit?
Yes, I had several questions. The trash and brush and bulk trash, first of all, I appreciate the fixes to the definitions and all those things. That's very important, and I wish we wouldn't limit people to 30-gallon garbage bags, because you can get a lot bigger bags in a 96-gallon receptacle. But the trash and brush, I wasn't clear on whether multiple family apartment buildings would be able to put out trash and brush if it was not an eviction or a foreclosure or if it wasn't one of those, how are we going to know when blessed students throw out everything they own when they move to another city instead of taking it with them? How do we know that's not an eviction or a foreclosure? And do we pick up at apartment buildings or do we not? And if we say we don't, can we actually not do it?
Director Yates?
So that's twofold. Let me give you a twofold answer to that. In terms of how we run and operate across the city, we drive our neighborhoods. So, when we get into areas that do have the duplexes, triplexes, and all, yes, we do service bulk in those areas as well. Large apartment complexes are supposed to have dumpsters, and those dumpsters are there for their regular garbage as well as any bulky items that they may have. So it's a mix. But if it's on our routes that we currently run, which is throughout all of our neighborhoods, yes, ma'am, we do service those. And the difference between evictions, Ms. Julie may be able to speak to that a little better than I could, but the difference between evictions and just bulk items being put out there, we can usually tell, but just when you pull up and it's an entire block worth of material versus just the brush. So it's kind of dependent, but we can get in, that's, I'll say yes, we pick up in the city where even the duplexes and triplexes aren't, but when you get into the large apartment complexes, they do not.
Okay, well, we have large apartment complexes that the people dump all their furniture out, and like, what do we do? Do we drive past it? Or do we send them a letter and say, I'm sorry, Mr. Landlord, we're not gonna pick up all this stuff that you dumped out behind your apartment building? I mean, how do we handle that?
I think, Madam President, to Ms.
Yes,
Evans,
Mayor Woodfin.
to the birthday lady's question, I think we've handled it situationally, to be honest, past tense. I have said to you all, I have said to neighborhood officers, I've said to the public, I think we're too kind. I think there's an expectation when somebody violates our ordinance, particularly a landlord or a contractor. We run our traps and do the assessment, but it's not on route, it's not on schedule. We expect them to pick it up, and then it takes a while, and then it's out there, so we just eventually pick it up. So on that, we're too kind or we're too nice part, we pick it up. We can leave it out there and assess them, but then you all get the complaints and the calls, our office gets the calls, do something about this. So it's unfortunately, it's very situational. Now, I would like to put this in the category of overgrown lots that are on private lots. We assess. You and I both know there's not enough tax dollars to cut those private lots. Should we be using public tax dollars to cut private lots? The answer is probably no. Therefore, you continue to put the owner on blast and you continue to assess the owner. If you apply that to this situation, it can stay out there, but we have to continue to assess the owner. In the past, we've just eventually picked it up. Not an answer you probably want to hear, but that's the truth.
Okay. So, but if council members see it and turn it into 311 that it was a private, it was the property owner that I'm tired of the city being taken advantage of.
We are too.
We have gobs of slumlords on the south side who take advantage of the city. That in fact, they don't even tell the city that they're landlords. But all their stuff that they dump out all over everywhere, piles of mattresses that we don't pick up but we really do, and piles of construction materials that we don't pick up but we really do. But if we don't do anything to the bad people, they continue to be bad people. And if we turn them in, we don't ever know whether anything was done to them or not.
Madam President, to Ms. Abbott's concern and response, three things. One, I 100% agree with her. Two, as Julie Bernard comes up, because I want her to respond to what Ms. Abbott's points have just made. The third thing I'll say is, the landlord has to be treated different from the contractor. If the landlord does the eviction, legal department, PEP, they have this process where we engage the sheriff's office, and then they're supposed to send notice that the landlord is responsible for actually picking up the eviction stuff that we see out there. A lot of time we see it as illegal dumping, but what it really is people have rummaged through an eviction. Technically, our team is not responsible for picking that up, but we spend a lot of our time picking that stuff up. I think the contractors who continue to violate, we will continue to investigate. Cedric just reminded me that I know council should be aware of this, but the top 100 egregious most code enforcement violations, there's some synergy and coordination among the three branches to make sure that everybody knows what's happening with the most egregious people that are violating our codes. That's just a start and or a tip of what I wanted Ms. Bernard to explain, because I know she wants to address what Ms. Abbott just shared. Madam President and Council.
Thank you, Attorney Bernard.
Thank you. There are a couple, and I appreciate the mayor mentioning, because during the coordinated code enforcement meetings that we were having, Public Works and PEP did engage with the Sheriff's Office, and I'm not sure if they're still receiving those lists, but they do from time to time. We're trying to get ahead of the evictions to know when they were going to happen. The clarification in this new ordinance is landlord, like any other commercial entity, you're responsible for getting rid of it. I did include if they've got somebody left something in the refrigerator, up to the 2 carts maximum that could be put out at that property, they can put that out for collection, but everything else they've got to get rid of themselves. I have wanted to point out that those properties that are required to have a special garbage container, or a dumpster as people probably commonly refer to, there is a requirement in the ordinance that has always been there that should the area around those containers become so littered, unclean, and unsanitary, and the person be advised in writing by the Director of Public Works or by the Health Department, then they're required to make it clean and sanitary within 24 hours. And if they don't, that's a violation, and we move forward. So there's that. There's also, if it's a continuing basis, it's something we can look at with our public nuisance abatement team. If they just won't comply. There's situations where just a citation and a fine doesn't get compliance when people just continue to offend, then a nuisance abatement action may help, taking them to civil court and getting their attention may be an option. So those are some things.
When you consider everything she just said, now you just have a time lapse where it's still on the ground. If we choose to just say, we're going to assess this, we're going to investigate, we're going to assess, and we're going to literally escalate it all the way to civil court under DNET. The question is, do you want it to sit out there during that entire time, or you want us to pick it up? Now, I'm saying that from a rhetorical standpoint, not necessarily respond, but that's what we deal with every day. So while we're picking up the stuff, but technically we're not responsible for, and while landlords are not doing their part, contractors are not doing their part, there's this perception that our public works team is not doing their work. That's not necessarily the case. They have their routes, they're doing what they're supposed to do, and then they're also being asked to pick up things that are not on their routes, that they're not responsible for, but because it's out there, pick it up. That's what we're dealing with.
Okay, well, I know that's what we're dealing with, but we need to do something about it because the taxpayers are being taken advantage of, and my neighborhood's covered with mattresses. I'm tired of mattresses. And we may as well say we pick them up, because we do pick them up, but they lean them up against the dumpster. So they're there forever. So Section 4-3-20 has an extra word "provide" in it. We could just take it out. So, I don't know, I find this to be very, very frustrating because, I want these guys to be arrested and taken to our city jail where they'll straighten up and fly right, because once they get to the city jail, they'll find out what life's really like. But I guess we can't arrest people, Mr. Mayor, for infractions of these ordinances if they're scofflaws and they just continue to ignore us. Can we ever arrest them?
I think we go through our environmental court process, and from our judicial branch of government, they have options that they can do. They assess bonds, etc., and then it's escalated from there based on a resident not coming to compliance of what the judge's order says.
So we have to wait until after a judge puts an order in, and then if they still continue to give us the...
I share 100% of your sentiment, energy around this subject, Madam Birthday Lady. I think our two branches are doing everything we can. As I continue to talk to your leadership, Madam President Pro Tem, on our engagement around pulling in our support from our judicial branch and our judges about how important this is. that collectively all three branches of the government lean in on this. These issues and cases ultimately end up in our judicial branch of government, and I think they now are keenly aware of how sensitive this is, how important this is to the legislative branch of government, and how the executive branch of government wants to assist the other two branches in doing everything we can to make sure people, residents, contractors, landlords, and everybody else are held accountable for their action or inaction of keeping their space clean.
Thank you. One last question, if I can still remember it. How will the landlords and the contractors be informed, like reminded of these changes? Because we're changing the ordinance, but nobody pays attention to what goes on here except a rare number of people. How will the landlords be informed that this is their business, not our business?
As soon as we get the ordinance enacted and signed, we will be working with PIO, with Mr. Journey and the others to get education out, to get it posted on the website. And we'll talk about other ways that we might do some of that communication, but that will be, the first step.
Madam President, just to add to Ms. Bernard's point and to Ms. Abbott's question and to all the council, this is one of those things, Ms. Abbott, that I commit to you and your other 8 colleagues, that you don't have to worry about the administration, as well as the departments and the comms team and everybody else leveling up on the communication end and the education aspect of this upgrade of our ordinance and communicating with all the different constituency groups. I think communicating with you all, I think communicating with our neighborhood officers, I think communicating with everyday residents, but I also think communicating with landlords and people who have these businesses. It's going to be extremely important that every facet, every constituency group knows what's in here, so nobody can yell they didn't know. So we'll do everything we can in all our communication channels, platforms, online and person and everything in between, to overshare and over-communicate how important this is, and everybody has to be in compliance.
Well, if we were to develop some door hangers or other kinds of communications, I know groups of neighborhood people who would go around putting them on doorknobs if they were available, just to educate everybody, that these are the laws. Because the people who have to look at this mess, they don't want to see it, and they're willing to walk and work.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Councilor Moore, then Councilor Pro Tem.
Well, I think originally the question that I had was about the communication between landlords and them evicting people out of their homes. If we had any type of way of knowing that ahead of time so that we could properly prepare for it. But y'all answered that question in terms of the sheriff's office having some communication. I guess the only other thing that I'll add, I want to say, during our inaugural housing committee meeting, we had an opportunity to have the apartment association to attend, who stated that they would love to be a resource to us. And so I think they would be a great option to, connect with them so that we could address certain issues. So just throwing that out there.
Thank you. Councilor Pro Tem.
Attorney Bernard, I have a question. In regards to, in the section about landlords, you said they have timely notice, proper notice and time for them to dispose it based on state law. Is it necessary to put how long they have in the ordinance, or is that something we just need to put on the material when we send out to them as a reminder?
That is really referring to the processes for evictions. They have, once they get an order of eviction, they have to keep the person's property for 14 days. They can store it. They have to give that person notice, and then they, at the end of that 14 days, they can dispose of the property. They can sell it, throw it away, whatever. So that's really referring to that time period in the state law that they have to do. I didn't really want to go into that detail in the ordinance because that's something as part of their business. They've got to know when they have to give notices and how long they're allowed to keep it.
I guess I asked that because when we discover that's an eviction and we identify that landlord, I don't want it to be we identify it and then we keep sending notices and nothing happens. So I don't know if that's feasible to put like, hey, you have 72 hours to get this done when you have notice, or you have a week. I don't know if that would put more teeth into this ordinance, because I think every district really is affected by this.
That may be something to consider also with the construction dumpsters and things like that. We could maybe put a provision. Yeah, one thing we can do is we can pass the ordinance today and get it enacted, but if there's some little tweak that we want to come back in a week or two to put in for something like that, we can do that. Just because it gets adopted doesn't mean it ends there. It's an ongoing process to get through this transition. And similar to what I mentioned about around the garbage, around the containers at apartments and businesses, that 24 hours notice, they have to have it cleaned up. We can put something like that. If once we give you notice, you need to clean it up. And I'm not sure, I'm maybe put a general section in here, but maybe let's do that and maybe come back with that.
Okay, I just want to make sure we do everything we can so we don't get blamed for not doing our jobs, because a lot of times with code enforcement, as we have discovered, it is not us doing our jobs, because we will turn it in over and over again and it doesn't get enforced because of another branch of government. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Woods, I believe, and then Councilor Williams.
Yeah, I just want to ask the administration to maybe circle back around to some of those notification efforts around letting people know where they can take their debris themselves. And so, neighborhood meeting, that question came up, and just I think we forget everybody to know.
Madam President, to
Yes,
Councilor
Mayor.
Woods' questions, we can absolutely do that, Rick. We can get that up today if we need to.
Thank you. Councilor Williams.
And this is on the same line of thought, I think, to some of Ms. Abbott's questions that we responded that, we're looking at another branch of government for better enforcement once we send it to them, especially for repeat offenders. But there's some people that, are out there on, I guess it's more of a question, like I have some houses that, been here 6 years, but they've made it to court 8 or 9 somehow. Is there no way, as from a prosecutor's standpoint, that we can't request 10 days, 20 days in the city jail from the judge? It'd be requesting that.
I think, Madam President, to Councilor Williams' questions, I want to
Yes,
address this
Mayor.
twofold. I think the first fold is the mayor's office we'll look forward to talking to Ms. King and the assistant city attorneys who are the prosecutors of the municipal court who actually prosecute these cases. And I know that they can and are willing to make recommendations to our judges. But ultimately it is up to the judge to accept and or deny in full or in part the recommendation from the prosecutor. Madam President and Council, this morning I shared publicly an address, 420 87th Street South, zip code 35206. And Hunter Williams has no clue what I'm about to say, nor did he ask me to share it. It is an address in District 2. I know it is a repeat offender. I know there was a lien on the property. An LLC with an address in Montgomery took hold of the property. But that company is a subsidiary of a company in Florida. So it is literally through a series of LLCs that I've just found out today. No one lives at this home. The teams run the traps, do the assessments, and it makes its way all the way to court. And then nobody shows up. And so the question is, and this is rhetorical, what can we do to actually start going after, this is a true definition of a ghost and or an absentee landlord, where this property is in every violation you all can think of. And I think, Mr. Williams, you should share the pictures, at least one of those pictures.
This is the yard of the property in my district.
You should share the pictures with your colleagues. That what do we do? How can we go after this Ghost LLC that ultimately is a company all the way in Florida? So we'll continue to talk with legal. We'll continue to talk with PEP and other departments to get creative as we can. This is not the only example. I think at a minimum in all 9 districts, this issue exists in all 9 districts of ghost owners of these properties who don't care about their violation, and it's hard even to serve them and or get them in court to make them come into compliance. So part of our next move phase conversation is about how to attack ghost owners. I would like to treat them like the milk carton. Have you seen this person? I think we have to put them on blast. I think we have to embarrass them. I think we have to create laws to give us more teeth to go after them. I think we may have to protest and sit in front of their home until they be a good neighbor here. Whatever we have to do, but this issue extends well beyond some of the things we can control for on a day-to-day basis. Just wanted to make that point.
To
Yes,
respond to
absolutely.
the mayor, thank you, Mayor, for bringing that property to the forefront of the conversation, because, you know, this has been an issue since you and I were elected 2 terms ago. But, you know, what I would like to see happen is that the ownership of the owning LLC gets a summons to appear in Birmingham Municipal Court. And if they do not, an arrest warrant is issued. And then on the administration side, our arrest warrants are actually entered into NCIC. City arrest warrants, like every other municipality in this state, with the exception of the city of Birmingham, should be issued into NCIC, because I would love for these people to be extradited to the city of Birmingham to see them in front of municipal court.
Thank you, Councilor Williams. Councilor Quinn?
Yeah, just one maybe final comment. I just don't want this occasion to pass without acknowledging its significance. You know, I don't need to tell anybody in this room or anybody who's lived in the city of Birmingham for any amount of time that this has been an issue for decades. And I feel like we're taking a big step forward this morning and making some real progress. Is it perfect? Has it been perfect? No. But we are making progress, and we'll likely, you know, be back here not too long in the future making some tweaks, you know, and addressing other sections of the code, such as when somebody applies for a building permit, making them show a receipt for having obtained a construction dumpster. Something I definitely want to see. But anyway, my point of making a comment was just to say, you know, this is a very significant occasion for the city of Birmingham. I feel like we're making a huge step forward, and I just want to, you know, thank everybody involved, especially Julie Bernard for all of her work on this. So, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Quinn. And councilors, I know with the discussion we've had so far, a lot has been coming back to the question of that third branch of government and how, again, they can assist us in being sure that these ordinances like these are actually people are prosecuted or people are held to the letter of the law. And so I do know that we have a meeting coming up that it was planned for Thursday, where we're looking at those top 100 code enforcement violations and starting that dialogue with our judicial branch. And so we've decided to bring that conversation to Committee of the Whole. And so we look forward to that next month on Committee of the Whole. And so that's gonna be on our next one. And so it will not be Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday. It will be with our next Committee of the Whole, and make that a work session so that we can gain more knowledge and how we could deal with those justices. I hear you down there, Counselor. All right, we ready for the vote?
Madam President?
Yes, ma'am.
One more little
Yes, go
tiny
ahead.
thing. In section 4-3-23, item A, we've used the term brickbat. When I looked up brickbat in the dictionary, it's a weapon. So maybe we could just change a brickbat into a brick.
Is that noted, Council? Mayor?
Question, Madam President, to the birthday lady is a quarter brick, half a brick. It's gonna go over so many people's heads. So I'll just stop there and say, yes, we're changing the bricks.
Since I couldn't hear you, it's okay.
Thank you. All right, we're ready for the vote.
Okay, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
All right, thank you. That item does pass. We do want to give accolades again to the Department of Public Works and Attorney Bernard. I hope everyone really understands the significance, as Dr. O'Quinn was saying, how this is really significant for us as citizens of Birmingham and for what we want to do to make our city to look better. And so I'm we'll be looking forward to the education piece that will come out of this so that there's full awareness and then that could promote the compliance of what we're doing. So thank you all very much. Next item.
Item number 5. Page 9, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute deeds and any other documents necessary to transfer certain real properties to the Birmingham Jefferson County Transit Authority pursuant to the Bus Rapid Transit Comprehensive Implementation Agreement between the city and BCJTA dated February 12, 2018 concerning funding, construction, and operation of the Bus Rapid Transit Project, which properties are to be used as the east and west terminus stations for the BRT line, and to execute a parking easement of a portion of the adjoining city property for additional parking for the west terminus station. And please note this item was also recommended by the Transportation Committee, and this is an item of permanent operation. We need UC to pass it today.
I'm up for UC.
Who's the second?
Councilor Tate.
Okay, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed,
Nay.
say nay. Okay, I heard one nay. Was that Councilor O'Quinn?
Yes.
Just a quick question. The recommendation is correct for transportation?
That's correct.
Okay.
So that was a nay on unanimous consent to
Yes,
bring the
ma'am.
item before us. All right, so we'll bring that item back at another time. Yes, Councilor Clyde?
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to note that on the second page of the ordinance, where it says, "Be it further ordained that in the judgment of the council, the property described in this ordinance is not needed for public or municipal purposes," that we also describe a lot that we are leasing for parking. So if we could just say the property described below instead of the property described in this.
Excuse me, Councilor Clark, I'm not going to interrupt you, but we can't discuss
So
the item.
can I just take that up with somebody outside of this?
Yes.
Okay, because it's just a simple
That's
little.
fine. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Just want to follow that procedure, so thank you.
Okay.
All right. Next item.
Okay, should be item 7. A resolution authorizing the mayor to execute and deliver an agreement with Urban Impact Incorporated in an amount not to exceed the sum of $10,000 to provide services for the city of Birmingham by promoting and protecting the cultural heritage and historical assets of the Greater 4th Avenue Historic Black Business District through business education, music appreciation events, and community education events to be held on various dates and will open to the public. I need a motion, please.
Move the item.
Second.
All right, thank you. Councilor Clark, you asked that this item be pulled from consent.
Thank you, Madam President.
Yes.
Just wanted to note that the Taste of Fourth Avenue Jazz Festival is in its 20th year this year. So it's always the last weekend in August. So everyone has time now to make their vacation plans and invite their family to town to hang out in Birmingham in the historic Black Business District. And I also want to embarrass Carmen for a minute because the year I chaired this festival, we presented a history of the historic Black Business District that Vulcan Park presented at Vulcan Park. Anyway, we represented that exhibit during the festival in conjunction with the Ballard House. And we needed to engage the public, the big crowd, with the exhibition that was indoors. So we had two wonderful people to dress in period dress. Carmen Mays was Carrie Tuggle, and Elijah Davis was William Reuben Pettiford, and they went around and dressed as, people from the early 1900s to make people wonder, like, why are you dressed like that, to get them into the exhibit. And that's how I met her, so I just wanted to, and if you don't know who Carrie Tuggle and William Reuben Pettiford are, that's why we have Google, and you can find out. So anyway, just wanted to remind everyone that this is a momentous occasion to have a festival, a free festival, that's free and open to the public, that has survived for 20 years. So just wanted to give a shout out. I think Carla Youngblood has left already, but that's it.
Thank you, Councilor Clark. Any other questions or comments regarding this item? If not, we're ready for the vote. Thank you.
Okay, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
All right, item number 7 passes. Next item.
Should be item 9, which has been requested to be withdrawn. And so that leaves us with item number 57 on page 19. A resolution setting a public hearing June the 20th, 2023 to consider the adoption of an ordinance to amend the zoning district map of the city of Birmingham. Case number ZAC 2023-5 to change zone district boundaries for 8 development sites. Site 1 to be rezoned from MUL mixed use low to MUM mixed use medium. Site 2 to be rezoned from MUL mixed use low to MUM mixed use medium. Site 3 to be rezoned from D5 multiple dwelling to MUM mixed use medium. Site 4 to be rezoned from MUL mixed use low to MUM mixed use medium. Site 5 to be rezoned from D3 single family residential to MUM mixed use medium. Site 6 to be rezoned from MUL mixed use low to MUM mixed use medium. Site 7 to be rezoned from D3 single family residential to D5 multiple dwelling. And Site 8 to be rezoned from D3 single family residential and D4 medium density residential to D5 multiple dwelling, filed by the city of Birmingham. Motion, please.
I move approval.
Second.
Who was the second? I'm sorry.
Second was Council Pro Tem.
Smith. Okay, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Oh, I'm sorry, discussion.
Okay.
No discussion.
Right.
We're ready.
Councilors, this is just a resolution.
For the hearing, right.
Setting a public hearing for June 20th.
Okay, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
All right, thank you. We've set that public hearing. Next
All right.
item.
Next is just a notice from the clerk's office, receiving the emergency repair notice from the purchasing agent relative to the Birmingham Police Headquarters building. HVAC system is out of service and inoperable due to hot temperatures. And item 59, received the emergency repair notice from purchasing agent relative to storm pipe failure that has caused a washout at 1300 First Avenue South, Birmingham.
All right, thank you, councilors. At this time, we're ready to entertain your comments of any events or items you'd like us to learn about in your district. So I'll start with you, Councilor Williams.
Madam President.
Yes, ma'am.
Before we do that, do we need to, item 6 has Ms. Johnson's name left off. Do we need to reconsider the consent agenda just to fix that? You know, the name of the foundation is Nadine G. Johnson.
That's item 6 on page 9, and the agreement was with Nadine G. Johnson Foundation. correct, Johnson?
Yeah, so would we need to reconsider the consent agenda just to fix that minor? I'm looking at the city clerk.
Are you looking at the actual resolution?
Yeah, the attachment is correct, but what's written in our agenda is just, her last name's missing.
Oh, wow.
Can that just be fixed?
Can we make the motion just to fix it?
We need to reconsider the consent agenda.
Wait a minute, he's trying to read.
No, the actual resolution, I don't see a name in the actual resolution. That's what I'm looking at. The attachment would just be, we need to reconsider the consent agenda.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor for reconsider. Is there a second?
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, and so we will readopt the consent agenda with the correction to item number 6, please.
Thank you very much. We've readopted that to correct that item or add that name.
I move readoption.
Okay. With the correction for number 6, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
All right. Thank you very much. The consent agenda is re-approved with the items. All right. So we'll start with you, Councilor Williams.
Thank you, Madam President.
I bet you do.
Crestline Neighborhood will be meeting Thursday, May 25th at 6 o'clock at the usual meeting place at church. I want to invite everybody out on the dais, and also everybody that can hear me or is watching this, to the fishing rodeo this Saturday, June the 10th, from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. I believe you typically have a shotgun start at 8 a.m., but this is the one day where we have free fishing without a fishing license, and the Alabama Department of Conservation approves it. And so y'all come out and bring your families and let people know about it. That's Saturday, June the 10th.
Where?
Eastlake Park.
Gotcha.
So, and then the day before, on the 9th, from 1:30 to 2:30, we'll also be stocking the lake with 2,500 pounds of catfish. And I think we're going to probably have some USFL Stallion players out there, which came out last year. It's more of a kid-friendly, family-friendly event, so y'all come out to that.
And what's that date again, Councilor?
So the fishing rodeo is the 10th.
The 10th?
The 10th.
I still have my camouflage T-shirt from last year. Have you
Everybody on
changing?
this dais will be getting a new color with a new year for their T-shirts.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Councilor Tate?
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to give a special thanks to all of the volunteers and members of the Movement Fellowship Church who came out to help with the cleanup on Pratt Highway this past Saturday. And special thanks to KBB, Ms. Sade Hammonds, for always being helpful, punctual, and productive for making sure our cleanups are successful ones. The Dolomite Neighborhood Meeting will be held tonight at 6 p.m. And that's the conference call. You can dial in, call in 720-843-2669. The code is 3789426. Fountain Heights Neighborhood will meet tonight at the Fountain Heights Recreation Center, and that's starting at 6 p.m. and that's at 1101 15th Avenue North, Birmingham, Alabama 35203. Inner Ridge Neighborhood will be on Thursday, May the 25th at 5:30. The dial-in number for that is 312-626-6799. The code is 068464. The next public safety meeting will be held on Tuesday, June the 13th at 1 p.m. in Conference Room D&E. Please submit the agenda items by email no later than Wednesday, June the 7th at 12 noon to beatrice.collins@birmingham.gov. Also, Madam President, we have two vacancies. The Jefferson Blount St. Clair Mental Health Authority is looking to fill 2 vacancies on its board of directors. The qualification for the board members is outlined below. Members must be a resident of the area represented. Birmingham appointees must be residents of Birmingham. The term is 6 years. The Jefferson County Intellect and Development Disabilities Authority Incorporated is looking to fill 2 vacancies on its board of directors. The member must be a resident of the area represented by Birmingham appointees, must be residents of Birmingham, and that term is also 6 years. You can submit your resumes to patrice.collins@birmingham.gov, and the deadline to submit those resumes will be June the 6th by the end of the day. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact our office at 205-254-2302. That concludes my announcements, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilor Tate. Councilor Woods.
Thank you, Madam President. Quickly, on this Saturday at Calvary Resurrection Christian Church, there will be a grocery giveaway at 7:30 a.m. Again, it's Saturday, 7:30 a.m. at Calvary Resurrection. And also, the Magic City Showcase coming up on June 3rd. I want to invite everybody out for year number three. So excited about this opportunity for our high school athletes from Birmingham and around the state and neighboring states as well. But the deadline to register is on May 27th, and want to shout out Coach Leonard Stevens with Step by Step Sports Foundation, as well as Trey Cheney with I Am Love Fitness. They both are very hands-on with this event, as well as Be Grace Media, and that team has worked together the last 3 years to put on a great event, and looking for a strong year 3.
Thank you. Councilor Queen, are you ready?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. Fountain Heights, as Councilor Tate mentioned, Fountain Heights Neighborhood Association will meet tonight at 6 p.m. at the Fountain Heights Recreation Center, located at 1101 15th Avenue North. Crestwood North Neighborhood Association will also meet tonight at 6:30 p.m. at Girls Inc. at 5130 8th Court South. Also, just want to remind everyone that the Eastlake Market started this month and happens every Saturday running through October 14th in the parking lot of Eastlake United Methodist Church, located at 7753 First Avenue South. There's lots of local produce, baked goods, and many other things there. And I think they still have the Double Bucks program. And also just want our seniors to know that the Alabama Department of Agriculture will send you money, basically, to seniors that qualify. I want to say it's something like $50 a month that you can get from the Alabama Department of Agriculture that you can use at farmers markets. So that's a program that I think everybody who's eligible should be taking advantage of. Also, just want to encourage folks to continue supporting the Birmingham Legion, and which they have a very significant match happening tomorrow night at Protective Stadium, and also the Stallions game this coming Saturday. So just want to keep encouraging people to keep showing up. That concludes my announcements. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. O'Quinn. Mrs. Abbott?
Thank you, Madam President. The Planning and Zoning meeting that was scheduled for Wednesday, May 24th is canceled. So we have one case, but it's got issues. So the neighborhood meeting for tonight is Redmont Neighborhood. They meet at 5 p.m. in the Botanical Gardens auditorium. Certainly, if anyone has any concerns or issues, please call 311 or download the My BHAM 311 app. That way you can add photos to make everything more real, like the photo that Councilor Williams had today of the yard of that lovely home. I'm so jealous. And we do want residents of District 3 to please continue to visit our website for notifications about all kinds of events, summer jobs, camps, and much more that we don't have time to talk about right now. So thank you very much. That is www.bhamdistrict3.com.
Thank you, Mrs.
Thank
Jackson.
you.
Thank you. Councilor Moore?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam President. We got a couple of neighborhood associations taking place this week. So we have Norwood that will take place on tomorrow at 6 p.m. via Zoom. Harriman Park that will take place this Thursday at 4:30 p.m. at the Harriman Park Rec Center. And so for more information about those neighborhood association meeting days, times, locations, you can actually go to d4bham.com to find that information. So it will serve as a resource for any type of updates that are taking place in District 4 and just being able to keep you abreast of what's going on. So, and I also want to just send a special shout out to all the neighborhood officers who are going to or have already left to go to El Paso, Texas for their NUSA event. Hopefully they bring back some great information back to the city. Have a lot of businesses that were opening up in District 4, and so Woodlawn Theater, which is a new live music venue in the area, very beautiful, great space for, like I said, live music. They opened up this week. We also had Two Dough Girls, a new pizzeria spot that is really good. Black owned, and they had a grand opening. We also had the Green Thumb, which is a retail plant shop located in the Woodlawn neighborhood, owned by our very own Miss Yantrisha Coleman. So really excited about that as well. All of these spots are right there off of First Avenue North, and so it's really good to just be able to have that synergy in terms of business in that area. We also know that this is graduation season, so had a couple of graduations and graduations taking place. So first of which was the Jones Valley Teaching Farm, the apprenticeship program that I know Councilor O'Quinn and Councilor Clark had an opportunity to attend over at the Teaching Farm in the Woodlawn area. Really nice event, community partners, as well as, different restaurant owners, brought a dish, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And it was really good just to see everybody out and about having a good time and really connecting. And so I want to say congratulations to the class of 2022-2023 interns for their work that they did this year. And then we also had the mini medical school program that took place, and the graduation took place this week as well. Not sure how many of you all know about that, but the UAB Department of Pediatrics established this mini medical school in the spring of 2022 to provide a longitudinal series of virtual and in-person experiences to increase middle school students' awareness of science, technology, engineering, and math careers with a particular focus on healthcare. This program also the program also hopes to increase the pipeline for those who have traditionally been underrepresented in medicine. And so these students would come once a month to a meeting space where they would be exposed to nurses, physicians, different doctors, pharmacists, respiratory therapists, forensic scientists, and they would, be given presentations about what these individuals do, and then they would also have an opportunity to have some type of hands-on experience with that information. And so it was really cool just being able to hear the information that the kids were able to retain. They were saying some different medical words. I did not know what it meant, but they did. And it was just really awesome to see how impactful the program was to them. And so really want to just give a shout out to all of the folks who are a part of that program, Dr. Brian Sims, Dr. Chandra Blakemore, Dr. Tamara Cohen Beasley, and Dr. Marsha Kelly Sutton, and the Carlo family who actually funds that program. And so just wanted to say thank you for inviting me and really enjoyed it. I understand that also the HEAT program had their graduation recently as well. Didn't get a chance to make it to that one, but it was something that a lot of people shared with me was a very, transformational program, and the students also talked about, their experience with that as well. And so I'm not sure if anybody else got an invitation to that. Okay, cool. Yeah, but I just wanted to make sure that we sent the shout out to them for the work that they're doing with that program. Last but not least, we had our D4 Town Hall meeting at Woodlawn High School. Really good turnout, really great information that went forth. So I definitely want to say thank you to all the department heads that came out. They really showed out, and we had a couple of people that left out early, and I was trying to stop them at the door like, hey, what's wrong, you good, you straight? And they were like, nah, everything is good. I actually had my question answered. I actually received the information that I was looking for, so I can go home now, right? Which was really good. And so obviously one of the biggest issues that kept coming up was code enforcement. And so I'm really looking forward to being able to make some changes in that area, because I feel like that's one of the things that I know if we get that right, it'll take a lot of heartburn from our residents, and they'll be able to have that 205 pride that brother stuttered. Brought in here, whatever. Yeah, so let me see. I think that's it, and I just want to say thank you to Representative Barrymore for coming through as well. It's always a pleasure to, have your state reps to attend your town hall meetings, and that's all.
Thank you, Councilor Moore. Councilor Clark?
Thank you. I'll start by piggybacking on the code enforcement comment, because I think we got to do code education. Like, I need to know the code. We need our booklet updated, and we need to encourage people to engage with the code and understand the codes before we start enforcing the codes. But I do think code enforcement is critical. We just got some steps to do to get there. And I want to just I just want to note that we had a real blast this past Saturday at our first ever Power Tools workshop. It was at Legion Field, and I want to send a huge thanks to Dr. Mitty Cannon and her team for patiently and enthusiastically teaching us some home repair skills. Our pupils were mostly older women, including myself, and some of them had expressed an interest in learning to maintain their homes. And people joined us from all over the city, even outside of District 8. So we are planning to do more. We have a little waiting list. And I just want to give kudos to the District 8 staff for organizing and planning for smooth execution, and for the Park and Rec team for a wonderful accommodation at Legion Field. Also tonight, we have neighborhood meetings. Well, we have one neighborhood meeting this week and a community meeting. Bush Hills neighborhood will meet tonight at 6:30 via Zoom. You can go to www.bushhills.org to find a link to that meeting. Also note that the 5 Points West community meeting is this Thursday, May 21st. Is that right? No, it's Thursday, May 21st. Okay. At 6 p.m. No, that doesn't sound right. Thursday would be May 25th. Okay. Thursday, May 25th at 6 p.m. at the Birmingham Police Department's West Precinct Community Room. Also, there's an event we were planning to have today at 2 p.m. that is now going to be tomorrow at 2 p.m. So join me and Bush Hills Connections for the unveiling and dedication of the Bush Hills Connections Complex at the site of the former Woodrow Wilson School. This has been a dream come true and a labor of love for the residents of Bush Hills. We're thankful to the partners that helped bring this to fruition, namely UAB Live Health Smart Alabama, BL Harbert International, the Birmingham Board of Education, the City of Birmingham, and Birmingham Southern, as well as countless volunteers. And it's really a big deal. I hope all of you, all of my colleagues up here can join us for the celebration. and that's tomorrow at 2 p.m. Also, this week, tomorrow, you can join the city's Department of Innovation and Economic Opportunity and Riddle Properties at the Crossplex on Wednesday, May 24th at 6 p.m. for a community engagement session regarding the design of the proposed Family Fun Center. This is an opportunity to share your input about this wonderful new amenity coming to our area. Also coming up soon, the Omicron Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority and the Birmingham alumni chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi are hosting the Westside Community Wellness Expo at the beautiful new Pearl Center located at 1025 4th Avenue West. This event will take place on June 10th from 9 a.m. till noon. Attendees can enjoy free health screening, fitness activities, and engagement from various wellness-focused organizations. It's a family-friendly event, and there will be a special kids zone. It's free and open to the public, so come out and be well. And don't forget, each Thursday when it's not raining, we meet up at the Starbucks at the Crossplex at 7:55 a.m. to do a gentle 1.5 mile loop. We're usually joined by our partners from Freshwater Land Trust and neighbors across District 8 for a little morning exercise and a lot of conversation. All paces are welcome. That concludes my remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Madam President. I want to start off by saying congratulations to your granddaughter, Mackenzie. She graduated with honors and with college credits. That's pretty impressive, and she is TSU bound. So I'm so proud of her through you.
Thank
And
you.
I just wanted to publicly say congratulations to her.
Appreciate that.
Yes, and so on Saturday, Alpha Phi chapter of Omega Psi Phi fraternity will be having a run walk, and this will be it's $35 until Friday and $40 on site. The website is rb.gy/OKWHPQ. The Restore West End block party will be this Friday from 11 to 5. It will be at 2023 Tuscaloosa Avenue. They'll have a resource fair, food, music, prizes. Tomorrow we'll have our career fair, and this is to help the Golden Flake families and anybody else who needs a job in partnership with Jeff State. We have almost 40 employers, which is really good. And Madam President, I told you this already, but Buffalo Rock is going to join us too. So that'll be from 10 to 2 tomorrow at Memorial Park Rec Center. The next PIC meeting is Tuesday, June 6th at 2 p.m. I was there for Donuts with Dads at Washington K-8 this morning. We supplied Dunkin' Donuts and coffee from Chick-fil-A. It was very successful. It was actually a packed room, so I was happy to see that. The next Budget and Finance meeting is Monday, June 12th at 3:30 p.m. Submissions are due June 7th. And then don't forget, we have our FY24 public budget hearing Monday, June 5th, right here at the Boutwell at 5:30. 5:30. I wish everybody a happy holiday weekend. Please be safe. We sound like a broken record. Please don't fire off the fireworks. Please don't fire off your guns. Just please be careful with what you did, because y'all, I was 2 blocks away from a shootout on Saturday with my family. Like, when it sounded, I'm talking about outside, like we weren't in the house. I was like, this can't be fireworks. And I saw the smoke in the air, and, you know, people have got to do better. Like, we really do. Like, that could be an easy thing. We could have been in our car and gotten shot. So I hope, you know, I know Council Tate has a lot of plans, and we say this over and over again, but I feel like people don't want to do something until it affects their actual home, and it shouldn't get to that point. So y'all just be safe this weekend. Make safe choices. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Pro Tem, and thank you for acknowledging the graduation of my granddaughter. We're very proud of her. These are the announcements for District 7. Today, the Administration Committee will meet at 2 p.m. in conference rooms D and E. There's bulk, trash, and brush pickup that was scheduled today for Gracilla Heights and East Brownsville. So if they haven't made it through your neighborhood yet, be sure to put those items out for pickup. There'll be bulk, trash, and brush pickup is scheduled for Roosevelt City tomorrow, May 24th. Thursday, the Industrial Center Neighborhood Association will meet at the Mirador Center, and that's at 6 p.m. And then there is a bulk trash pickup for Germania Park South on Thursday. On Friday, there's bulk trash and pickup scheduled for Powderly. Please continue to dial 311 to report a missed pickup, or you can call the D7 hotline at 204-304-1797. I do want to give a thanks to Director Yates. I know he was present this morning. I didn't get a chance to tell him. I actually talked with a resident who went through the process of making Public Works aware of missed pickup, and Mrs. Gladney was very thankful for them coming back and picking that up. There had been some confusion with some of the routes, and so she really wanted to thank Director Yates and Public Works for responding. When I called her, she's like, "Oh, you're really there? You're calling me back." And so Director Yates had just called her, so that does work. So don't give up. When you call and make those reports, they will respond. And I also want to thank Director Yates for some of the work that's being done in the Roosevelt City neighborhood. I know they've been going through and picking up those items, and so we appreciate that. Do want to reiterate and piggyback on Councilor Clark's announcement about the West Side Community Wellness Expo that is free to the public. We're very excited to also be working with that chapter and along with District 8 to bring that opportunity to the public. There will be a recycling truck that's being provided by United Ability, Good to Go. They have a truck that'll be out there to get your recyclables, so we're very excited that they'll be on board for that. So just a lot of things. I would, before we end, reiterate, please be safe, be mindful of each other during this Memorial Day holiday. Don't forget, if your garbage is picked up on Monday, it won't be picked up, correct? Public Works, they'll be enjoying the holiday with their family as well. We do want to, there are no speakers for today, and we do want to thank the officers on duty, Officer Cedric Pinkert, City Hall, Officer Joshua Woods, South Precinct, and Officer Muhammad Karish of South Precinct. Thank you for your service and for your protection today. Can I have a motion for adjournment?
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.